1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to the High Performance CEO Show, your exclusive insight into the strategies and success habits of the world's top CEOs. I'm your host, Sebastian Schieke, entrepreneur, mentor, and business angel. Prepare to grow your business, enhance your leadership skills, and thrive in today's world. Let's dive in. Welcome to the High Performance CEO Show. Your host, Sebastian Schieke, business angel and founder of Sebastian Schieke & Company, is talking to Jürgen Hase today. And Jürgen is the founder and group CEO of Petron. Petron is a company builder. They focus on to socialize digitalization. And today we learn about what socializing digitalization means. Jürgen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Really well, welcome also to be here. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And yeah, let's talk about Petron, the future, and all the wonderful digital services which are coming up.
Yeah, there's so much happening in this space. Yeah. Before we dive into Petron and what you actually do, I mean, you have a very diverse background. Yeah, you worked in different countries, in India and in Qatar. You went through different roles within big corporates. Maybe you can give the audience a bit of a wrap up of your history and where you come from.
For sure. Yes, as you mentioned before, my name is Jürgen Hase. From my background, I'm an engineer in the telco business, telecommunication. So it's also time to know what you are trying to sell.
Yeah, I have a degree in telecommunications.
Yeah, sometimes now it's far away of it, but you know the technical background, which helps a lot. So, and then I've worked many years on the supplier side on access companies. We have produced access, DSL technology, analog modems, and all these things. Oh, and then very interesting. 1989, we have sold an analog modem, 2,400 bit per second for 1,000 mark.
Yeah. You know, I remember the time where I had one of those analog modems at home, and not certified by Telecom, And then I remember one day a guy came to my room. I was living with my parents, and I had my own connection. And he was saying, what are you doing with that connection? You know, are you having a modem? I said, no, I just use it to telephone, to call my friends.
And the monthly bill from the telco provider was also very interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so going at background, this worked many years in this arena. Then I've moved from the product management to the controlling to an office close to the CEO, much more an umbrella view. All the time I like to know more about a company than only one hotspot. So, and then 2000, I've moved to some of these startups. But at the end of the day, around 12 years ago, I've learned many things about M2M, machine-to-machine communication, which has swapped to IoT, the Internet of Things. I believe I was one of the early birds who has moved to this arena because I believe in these things. Technology for the next generation. I've worked for a smaller company in Germany for IoT at that time. Then I've built up the IoT unit in Deutsche Telekom 4 years. Then, as you mentioned before, I've moved to Qatar. Everybody's talking about Qatar, very interesting time at the moment. I've lived there and worked there close to 2 years. It's very interesting, very interesting. It was so Ooredoo is a local carrier, and Ooredoo has many subsidiaries around the world. Indonesia, Kuwait, Tunisia, and I was in all these countries and I've built up IoT units. And then, last but not least, I've moved to India, to Mumbai, this very small city with, 25 million people in one city. And we've built up an IoT unit in the Reliance Group, which is one of the big players in the market. So, and at that time, I thought a little bit about you have worked your lifetime in the arena of B2B. Now let's think a little bit more how I can support digital services much more in the end customer side or the consumer side. So, and then, I thought, created some ideas with a friend, and we have asked many people about, let's talk about how you think about, give me your thoughts, give me a feedback about our ideas. And most of the people told us, if it's already existing, I would buy it. I would use it in any form. That was the reason. Let's go ahead with Petron.
Yeah, go at with speed. I mean, I work a lot with startups. I'm also a business angel and I help them grow. And I think this is the challenge many of them have, to really put in speed, to grow fast. I mean, some grow too fast that they basically implode because they not manage to get the structures right too early. They are too early on the market. Or they are at the right time, but they don't get the organization scaled, and the organization basically implodes because they have no structures, no management style, and run out of funding eventually. So Petron is a company builder. So you create organizations, you scale organizations to a certain point, and then you sell them, or they just run on their own, right?
Correct. That's correct.
And what kind of organization do you build? And what is the most important thing you have to focus on when you want to scale an organization sustainable?
First of all, what we have done, we have created many ideas, our own ideas at the beginning. Later on, now we have, I believe, 15 startups in our portfolio, which we are supporting, but we have 4 of our own, let's say, ideas created as a subsidiary. And it's, you have to think about full focus on one of them. That's whatever you're doing is, these units have to be as independent as possible and full focused on what they are doing, the core business. That means if they are developing things, they have to develop technology. If they want to scale it up, they have to think about how to scale it up. That's the reason why we have thought about whatever it's not at the beginning necessary or partly demand. That means HR, finance, go-to-market, wherever you need only for a few hours a week, let's say it this way.
Yeah.
These parts we have arranged in the Petron AG, in the mother company, so as a shared service. So that means whenever they need it, they can use it. And if they are big enough, they can do it by themselves. So this is the idea. Focus on the core business. And creating organization is very interesting. Most of the people are making one mistake. They getting people on board who are saying all the time, yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah. And you have to fill gaps. The target is you have to fill gaps. You need people who are, I won't say against you, but
at least who are better than you.
Yeah, a different mindset, or they can do things much better than me. And this is very relevant. You have to accept this. If you have, let's say, a controller or a product manager who's 10 times better than you, wonderful, great. And awesome. He has to tell me what I have to learn from him, not otherwise. I believe Steve Jobs made the same statement, and I like this sometimes. You don't need people who are like you, a copy of you. No, that's not the part. You need a team, especially at the beginning, who's very creative on one side, on the other side also very open for discussion, of course, brainstorming, and then let's say a little bit aggressive discussion sometimes is very helpful. At the end of the day, we have to find one decision and going ahead together. It could happen, it's not my decision, but if the team believes this is a better way, we have to go this way. This is very important at the beginning in the phase 1. So that means if you have 5 people, 10 people, or so and so on. And what I've learned, independent of a startup, as you know, I've done the same in Qatar and in India. So if you're splitting organization, let's say at the beginning we are 3. Cool idea, and one is responsible for finance, the second for product, the third for sales. Oh. So, and then you need more people. Then you have to tell the salesperson, so now you have to split your activities. What you want to do, sales or marketing? So, and the people don't like it because now they have to split the activities. And this is from the beginning very relevant because especially at the beginning, the people, when the organization is growing, they all the time believe, no, I will be on the top because I'm the first. No. You need all the time the best. You have to increase the team. This is very relevant. And to split activities, people don't like. But this we have to start from the beginning. Discuss is very, very open. At least this is one part. And then to fix who's responsible for what at the end of the day, and sharing. Whatever is bringing people together, sharing information, that everybody's on the same mindset. But later on, if you, let's say, 20, 30, 40 people, it's not necessary that everybody gets all the information. It sounds a little bit negative, but that's normal.
It's normal and it's focused. Yeah. You overwhelm people with every information.
Yeah.
They might,
especially when you start an organization, you are knowing everything. Whatever is you knowing, you have all the information because there are only 5 people around the table. Later on, there will be 50 or 100 people and finance people knowing finance figures, sales people knowing, but then they're coming back, but why I'm not informed about this and this? Now, this is something a little bit to manage, but this, I believe, you have to make crystal clear in form of team meetings, so open as possible, open door policy, whatever. They can ask you, but it's not all the time that you have informed everybody about all the details. It's a change.
Yeah, yes, it's this shift from you found a company, you are the first employee, so you do everything, because you have to wear many hats. And then a company is growing, and obviously, you have to split.
It's like
you cannot run 2 or 3 functions at the same time in a 50-man company. Yeah?
But nobody likes it.
Exactly. They like the old world. It's change, change in every aspect of our life. We have to embrace change and have to accept that things are different and that you have to behave different.
This is very relevant. And it also means that at the beginning, sometimes you need a different skill set of people than later on. So that later on you need people who are much more organized. You have to make a few things more automatically. This is the next step. So that things are going from one step to the other, not by Excel, not by Word. Sometimes you need an ERP system behind this. At the beginning, you can manage many things. And
there's Excel.
But later on, you need some systems to make it happen. And communication is the key at the end of the day. If you're talking to people, if you're very open and explaining why you're doing what, I believe you never will get 100% who are following you, but if you have 99%, it's more than enough.
I think the challenge is because I also have a corporate background. Yeah, I did a lot of projects for corporate in the past. And I also have this corporate thinking. Yeah, we need systems, we need structures and so on. But then you have to map this to a startup where you don't need this in the beginning, but you have to incorporate this over time. Yeah, you have to really manage this transition. Yeah, and also from your own mindset. Yeah, that in the beginning things have to be more free floating.
Yeah.
After time, they need to be more structured. I think this is what many startup founders miss and what they have to learn. Often they come from a completely different background. If they found their first company and then they want to live their free life, of doing everything freely and so on. But then they realize, okay, I have investors in, they want reporting, they want to see traction, they want to see progress over time. And also have to lead my people. The guys are brought in the beginning with this free idea of, hey, everything is so easy, to a more structured approach. And I was watching the Spotify series on, I don't know, Netflix or whatever. And there was a typical example. I don't know if you watch this. It's an interesting story. Initially, they wanted to revolutionize the music industry, and everything is free and so on. And they brought in this very skilled developer, who developed the code. But then they realized, okay, they have to make some business, they have
make
to
money at the end of
they have to make money. The developer didn't like this at all, said, okay, this is not where we stand up for, and this is not what we wanted. But hey, if you want to change the world, you also need cash flow.
Yeah, and very interesting. This is a good statement. Cash flow, if you are working in a huge organization, and then you get a budget, and you can mention budget. If the budget's empty, to be honest, at the end of the day, you're knocking on the door, you get some more money. Normally, let's say it this way. If you're doing a good job. But if you're a startup, and there's no second door you can knock on, that means you have really, cash management is a key. Well, sometimes you can simplify. I'll give you an example first. When we get new ideas from outside, you can start a huge survey. You can ask very official for a lot of money. How do people think about these ideas? We have now a network of close to 150 people around the world from different segments, and you can ask your partner network. If this product, this solution is existing in the market, would you use it? What is it? And you can do it much simpler. If you're asking 20 people, nonetheless, you get a good feedback, make it sense, yes or not. It's not necessary to invest, let's say, 20,000 euro for a survey, which gives you more or less the same answer. You get 100 sides of paper, but at the end of the day, you can use 2 or 3 of them. Now, I believe to make it simple sometimes helps a lot, and you have to think much more in an 80-20 version. I also like it. So much more agile. Let's go ahead. Yes, no. Yeah. And let's add or swap things. This is the way to go ahead. It's not like 100% ready to go. Everybody has confirmed. All is green. Hundreds of lights are green. And then we can go. No, it's too late, especially in this digital world.
Exactly. And I mean, I have kids at school, and the way they learn nowadays. I mean, I have big challenges with the way the teachers teach our kids, because this agile thinking, this problem focus, they don't learn, They learn to replicate knowledge which they've been told in the classroom, and they replicate knowledge which is written down in a textbook, But this agile way of thinking, which is so important to succeed in today's world, but especially in the upcoming times, I mean, the world is turning so fast, and we need flexible organizations. We'll use this 80-20 rule. Say, okay, we test something, either it's working. If not, we move on, we adapt, or we just spin it,
Or especially to stop it, it's not so easy, especially if you have a hard startup mentality and you're thinking all is possible. Sometimes you have to say, no, this was the wrong direction.
You are in love with your product, and you think, the world needs this,
But I want to add one more point, especially at the beginning is very relevant whom you are onboarding at the beginning, whom you're getting on board. I believe because this is the next layer below you normally. And if you have people who are totally from the mindset, I'm not talking about content. Content we can go whatever. Yeah. But the other part, if people are from the style of how to manage a team are totally different compared to you, the DNA is different, then it doesn't work at the end of the day, because somebody's managing things totally authoritarian, let's say it this way. Now they are very open. Here, I believe you need a little bit more the same style of management, let's say it this way. From the mindset, can go totally different ways, but this has to be a little bit more on the same page.
So what is a typical market you go in with Petron?
Petron.
You said B2B.
Yeah, no, it's much more let's call it B2B to C or B2C. We are looking to consumers. Mass market, high scalable. We are only looking for products like board game consoles. We are developing board game consoles. It's $1 billion market. Everybody's laughing at the beginning, but it's $1 billion market. And we are talking about 2 million board games. Consoles, games, board game consoles. We are creating restaurants, multi-sensory rooms, restaurants, real restaurants you can step in.
Okay.
And one of them will cost around about $7 million. And we want to build up 50 around, 50. That means thinking big. And this is all the time very relevant, and also for startups. Go whatever you believe. Knock on any door you want to knock on. Knock on the Pope, whoever, try to get in touch with him. Why not? It's nothing against. He can say no. But if you're not trying doing things, this is also the part we are trying to teach the young entrepreneurs in our team who are the drivers. Please, whatever, go ahead. Don't wait. And each door is open. If you are friendly, if you are explaining what you want, and then everything is possible at the end of the day. This is also my personal feedback to whatever the people should do.
Yeah, exactly. And if people are not open, well, I mean, there are 5 other ones, who are happy to talk with you. I mean, the world has become so small in terms of network. Yeah,
therefore
we are able to be able to meet and get in touch with so many people over LinkedIn and other social networks. It's amazing. Yeah,
and now we are giving an example. We are around about 2.5 years old, and we have a huge network. Our network is beyond 500 people in the back. And particularly there's who is a star cook. There's a movie producer who gets German awards, and whoever, and we are in touch. We have a direct touch point to that. We can call them directly, pick up the phone, call them. We will meet them, can drink a beer together or a glass of water whenever we want. So this is and the young people have to do the same. Don't wait. Knock on the right door. Try to get in touch with the people and ask a normal, friendly question, and normally you will get a feedback. So we don't try, scale up means many times startups. Oh yeah, let's do it with 2 customers. The next plan is 5 customer, 10. No, think big. How you can scale it up. Find the right partner to scale it up. Yes, at the beginning, MVP you can do with a few, but then scale it up. Think big. Don't try to one step, next. Sometimes you have to wrap it up, especially in the consumer market. If you're waiting too long with digital services, you will be overruled by others.
Yeah, the market is so fast. No? There's so many competitors, and the profit margin is normally very small in the consumer market. No? So you need to scale this. You need to have many big. You have to think big numbers, and probably also go international.
Yeah, and that's also that's true. That's the reason why you need the partner ecosystem. What are your personal skill in the organization, or where you need the right partners outside? I believe without partners, it doesn't work. And you have to be very open and transparent also with the partner. It's not a supplier contract. It's a partner contract. The partner contract is a little bit different compared to the other ones. It means it's a little bit like to be married. Married means not also in the flower power time. It goes some other time in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to manage both parts, the good and the bad times. And if this is possible with your partner, then it's a win-win situation.
Tell me a bit more about this restaurant experience. I mean, this sounds really interesting. What does it mean? I mean, that's multisensory restaurants.
We are just building it up. The idea is very, very simple. From the board games, we have created some titles, 15 by 15 digital displays, and you can click them together. They have a huge place, and you can play board games on the table. So then we thought, okay, what would happen if these screens will be bigger and bigger? And then we thought, okay, what will happen if a room has a 36-degree room full loaded with displays? Then we have invited many experts. Samsung is a huge partner, and digital experts, movie producer, and whoever, Starcops. And what we are doing is now if you're joining Stay to Discover, this is the name of this organization, and the product is called Rodinia. So if you're joining this room, there will be a French evening, for example. You will learn that the service people are speaking, let's say, broken French. It sounds a little bit, they have lived some years in Paris. And then you will joining the entry room, all looks a little bit French. You will get, let's say, red wine. That's a typical thing from Paris. And then you're passing a digital tunnel. There were some special effects. And then you're coming into a room, a circle, 20 diameter, 5 meter high screens, and a huge dome beyond. And when you're joining this room, you are on the top of the Eiffel Tower, and you have a 36-degree movie, and you can see Paris from the top, from the roof. And you will get a 4-course star dinner in the evening. You can smell it, and whatever is. We want that you have the feeling in the evening when you're driving home. Oh, no, these are the coolest displays in the world. No, you should have the feeling. Today I was with my best friend in Paris on the Eiffel Tower. And 1 month later, when you're coming to the same room, you will be in India on a marketplace. It smells like curry. The people are speaking Hindi. It's much more colorful and so on. The third month, when you're coming, you are in the Titanic. The tunnel will be like the boarding into the Titanic. You will get the last and
it is slightly elevated.
You should get the impression. We call it travel without traveling. That means the people should really have the impression I'm there. And it's much more. It's a movie. Then it's a little bit more silence, and you can talk to the people. It's much more. People should talk together. And it's not like a James Bond movie with full of action. No, it's much more. Yeah. You should have the impression I'm there. And
more subtle experience.
Yeah, and you can use it also for B2B events. If you want to launch a product, your car, your mobile, or whatever it is, you can use it also for live acts, for digital art. And the first one, hopefully now we will build up in Vienna at Prada. And then we are looking now for Hamburg, Basel, Frankfurt, Munich. So, very interesting. And the interesting one is who's in the driver's seat? A person who is below 30 years old. He's the managing director of this organization, and he's managing many, many people in the back. This is the idea of Petron. Let's make it happen. And he has never done it before. Now he's the best. He's the best, I would say, restaurant manager I've ever heard. He's knowing all these figures.
Learning on the job. You need drive and the right mindset. Yeah. And then I believe you can do everything. If you have a sponsor like you who trusts this person,
give them an area where the young people can develop by themselves. They have to burn for it, not overburning, but they have to burn for things, and then they get all the support they need. But if they like it, then they do what they want, and then they will get all these crazy things from our side.
That sounds awesome. I'm really looking forward to if the Frankfurt opens. Or
let's see.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is how you really help young people grow and develop skills. Yeah, give them something, give them the backing, trust them, and they have so much capability. I'm just honestly, I'm just finishing a deal with a young startup in Berlin. 3 guys, 22 years. I mean, I have a lot of energy, but they have so much more energy, you know. I mean, I'm blown away from their energy, their power, you know, and I think, this is exactly what will make this company a success.
And everybody's happy. For example, on our side, we also got older people beyond 70 who came back and said, oh, I like this. I want to participate, particularly a few hours a week. And now they feel younger and younger. So, you know, the right balance between older people, younger people, experts, and if they allowing that this form of discussion, this open discussion, then it's a win-win situation. It's great.
And you get these different viewpoints. I mean, I run a treasury company for 22 years, and I had people, they started their career at my company. They came from university, and I had people who retired in my company, who basically, and this bandwidth of knowledge, and different age groups. This was so amazing because we always had different opinions. We had different experience levels, and this really was working quite well. And I don't understand big companies who are not, or also smaller companies who are not taking on older people. Yeah, I mean, they have so much expertise. They went through, they had challenges before, you know, they went through difficult times, and they can bring a lot of peace to an organization. Yeah. And where younger people might
sometimes older people are also a little bit crazy.
Exactly.
People could be in the same way.
But I like this experience and what they could bring. I had made good experience with that.
Yeah, I believe I only can underline each of the sentences you just made. 1 and 1 is much more than 2 in this case.
Yeah.
And you have to allow it also on the leadership. You have to allow that younger people have many more and better ideas than yourself. This is sometimes not so easy, but they are true. You have to accept it, full stop.
I always tell my clients, hey, I mean, I mentor all the CEOs. I always tell them, hey, hire people who are more intelligent than you. Yeah? Hire them. Yeah. Ideally, you enable the company to get rid of you. Yeah, that you can fire yourself. Then you're on the right track. Yeah, then this organization is growing and is not depending on you. But as long as you're the bottleneck, well, then
also tell me why not. Sometimes people are coming and say, no, that's not possible. Okay, why is it not possible? For example, to create a restaurant like this. At the beginning, restaurant experts came to us and told us, forget it. You have no clue about restaurants and how to make it happen. Nobody,
which is good.
But now, exactly these people are coming back and saying, wow, this is the most innovative restaurant concept I've seen ever. Full stop. Yeah. You know, you have to mix technology with experts from restaurant. Then everything is possible. You only need the right people, and you need access to the right people. This is why I'm coming back. You need the right network, and asking, and then it's going on.
You need the right mindset. You're not being afraid, and you shouldn't get. We always start with the tyranny of how. How can we do this? And this blocks so many things. When we start, how could we achieve this? Before we even started to formulating the idea, then we already lost.
I'll give you an example. I've never written a book. Never done my life. When I was in India, I've written a script about a shared home when old people are living, young people, and they're living together. Is a comedian. 200 sides I've written. And then when I came back to Germany, somebody asked me, so show me. So no, I will never show it. This I've done for myself. But I've shared it, and what we are doing now, we are now already in deep discussion with streaming services. They're very interested in to produce it. As you get, I've never done this, but the same young people, why not do it? Don't say, no, it's not possible. Everything is possible.
I mean, for example, in this case, the world needs content.
No.
Yeah? I mean, we need fresh content all the time.
They can say no. If they say, no, if I will jump over the second to the third round of discussion, wonderful. They will never produce it. But I say, it's much more than expected.
Yeah, it's personal growing, it's, I think it's amazing. Hey, what is in the horizon in the midterm for Petron? I mean, talk about this restaurant, which is amazing.
The interesting one at the beginning, we have done all these shared services, this organization, the mother company, the subsidiaries for ourselves to organize ourselves a little more efficient. Now, what we are doing now, we're sharing exactly this. We are very open for any startup. And this we are doing now, they're coming, I wouldn't say daily, weekly to us, more. And we want to support them. And we are in the long term. We are not interested in to jump in for a week and then leaving and making a lot of cash. That's not us. So either it fits together from the DNA, from the teams, and what they're doing, does it fit in our, let's say, portfolio overall? And if yes, it's all the time their idea. We are never grabbing their idea and doing it by ourselves. That's not our idea. We want to support them and in the long term. So that means you have to pay $10,000 for a workshop, because no startup has $10,000 for a workshop. We can forget it. So that means much more. Let's do it. Think about if the outcome is yes, it fits together. Then we could talk about the long term. Is there a revenue share model? Can we get some shares, a little bit payment, a little bit this? But then we're also burning. And if both sides are burning, then it's up and running. This is the idea we are doing now. I would say very successfully. You can also see it now on our homepage. We are doing this for churches. We have some solution and some others, and more ideas are coming in. And now we like this to work together and as crazy as possible. At the end, we have to make money. Everybody wants to make money,
of course,
but the money is not on the top line. The top line first is have fun. Whatever we are doing, we should like it. We should burning we have to burn for these things. And if we are doing this, the money is coming from it.
Exactly. And create value.
Value is the key.
Create something people really want and like, and then
there's enough revenues in the market. That's not us.
Awesome. Hey, Jürgen, it was a very interesting conversation. I mean, every company who's listening to this, who's looking for support in running their business and scaling up I need a HR department, I need marketing, and I don't have this. There are companies out there who are more than happy to support you. Yeah. Or probably if you have a crazy idea and need someone to help you set it up, I think Jürgen is also the place to go.
Let's meet. Let's talk.
Where can people meet you best?
Yeah, we are based here in Bielefeld. We have our let's call it headquarter here in Bielefeld. It's our office. But you can go also via LinkedIn. You can find me via LinkedIn or Petron via LinkedIn. You can connect me via email, website, wherever you want. Very, very, and please do it. Whenever you leave our unit here, call me directly, send me a message, whatever you want. More than open to discuss next ideas.
Great. These are the people startups need. Jürgen, thank you so much for your time today, and all the best for Petron and all the crazy ideas you will come up with in the future.
Thank you.
I like the rest, Joe. I will be there.
I will invite you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for tuning into the High Performance CEO Show. I'm your host, Sebastian Schieke, and it's been a pleasure serving you. Please subscribe to our show on your favorite platform and leave us a review. Your support helps us reach more listeners and create a bigger impact. Check out our website, sebastianschieke.com, for additional resources. Until next time, be bold, be exceptional, be outstanding, be a leader.